Mundu ndakusanga yatanenda ninyeno nietukingambama ngavanoka kutune kwoko chalo chuchaiwaniweni nesaka tuikusia ilovi kwaeka umololi twakuthiwe mbokini tangu mboki yaenda tanzeve suosu voi twakethanisyevo masoiloni. The song was literally about someone who was giving thanks, a testimony about how they survived the war. They start by how they left Nairobi. The governor came and bid them by. They went through Voi. They took true tea, turungi, tea without milk, a lot of it. Then they entered again. They went to Mombasa. As they arrived, quick march to get into the ship. They did so. So they went. So he jumps many things. Then he goes to one Saturday afternoon after games. Their ship was bombed. And that's where he saw many people in the water. He doesn't say how he survived, but he's thanking God that he was able to come back and see his mother.
Hamjambo, karibuni hapa British Peace Support Team Africa. Jina langu ni Captain David Ells na kazi yangu hapa ni Engineer Advisor. Leo tuko hapa Karen, Nairobi, kukutana na Bwana Lecho. Bwana Lecho alipigana kwa World War II with 21st East Africa Infantry Brigade. Sasa tuko hapa kupongeza Bwana Lecho, kupea medali za kijeshi na pia kushukuru hiyo kazi ndio amefanya.
We would like to welcome Driver Mutia Ovio himself, a sprightly 113 years old, is that correct? Amazing, absolutely amazing, and all of his family here. He served, we've looked in the records, in the British Army for 5 years and 40 days, which is a good length of service, and he completed his service on the 14th of November 1945. He served in the Abyssinian, sometimes called the East African Campaign of World War II, as part of the Allied forces fighting against Italy and its colony of Italian East Africa, which is essentially Ethiopia. The campaign started on the 13th of July 1940 when an Italian air raid took place on the Royal Air Force Base at Wajir in Kenya. And the war continued until the Italian forces had been pushed back from Kenya and Sudan through Somaliland, Eritrea and Ethiopia in 40 and early 1941. The remnants of the Italian forces in the region surrendered after the Battle of Gondor in November 1941. Italy was defeated, and on the 5th of May 1941, Emperor Haile Selassie entered Addis Ababa and personally addressed the Ethiopian people, freeing the Ethiopian population exactly 5 years after the fascist forces had entered Addis Ababa. It's fitting that the award of medals to Driver Mutia Ovio should be by the British Peace Support Team Africa, as we are the descendants of the 11th African Division, which was part of the team in the Abyssinian campaign. So we feel a special pride to be able to do this. So thank you very much indeed.
Sammy Ndolo, the grandson of our veteran, said, look, any chance we could get my grandfather's medals? He's lost his. And the wonderful thing there, thanks to really Her Excellency Jane Marriott, the High Commissioner, we knew the system, it was in place. Robert Wilde Evans from Spink in London, they're medal auctioneers, formed in 1666, an amazing organisation. They leapt into action for us and for the veterans. And they came back to us and they did it in record quick time. They basically posted them to my son at school, and this week my son with my mother arrived in Kenya with the medals, and here we are today. And I think this is proof of once you joined the armed services, it never leaves you. It's with you for life.
it's very overwhelming for me that this has been done for my grandfather. I would never have imagined in 100 years that we'd be here celebrating him. I don't have much about his experience in the war. When I grew up, I didn't interrogate him much about, how was it in Abyssinia? How was it fighting? I understand he even went to India from my mom. So I don't have a lot of that story with me. But he was still my grandfather, and there's things that were incredible to behold, and there's legendary stories. Of his generation is probably just one or two of those that are remaining. And so I'm happy that we've done this while he's still with us, and we'll eternally be grateful for what you've done for him, what you've done for us. I think we might not have the right expressions, but just know that we're extremely, extremely thankful and grateful.
So the 4 medals that we're awarding today are as follows. The 1939-1945 Star was awarded for operational service between the 3rd of September 1939 and the 2nd of September 1945, and was the only campaign star that covered the full duration of the Second World War. The Defence Medal was awarded to, amongst others, Commonwealth personnel who served from or outside their home countries, as indeed your father or grandfather or great-grandfather did, in an area subject to threat. And my God, there was some serious threat from the air, from the sea and from the land in the whole of the Abyssinian campaign. The War Medal is a campaign medal which was instituted by the United Kingdom on the 16th of August 1945 for award to citizens of the British Commonwealth who had served full time in the armed forces or the merchant navy for at least 28 days between the 3rd of September 39 and the 2nd of September 1945. Finally, and the one which I like the most, is the Africa Star. It's a military campaign medal instituted by the United Kingdom for award to British and Commonwealth forces who served in Africa between the 10th of June 1940 and the 12th of May 1943 during the Second World War. So it just remains for me to say, well, Driver Lecho Muchia Ovio, thank you very much for your brave and selfless service to the British Army in the face of the enemy in World War II. On behalf of His Majesty the King, it is a great honour for me to award these medals which you have truly earned to you today.
Oh, I said thanks.
Thank you very much.
Bwana Lecho, kutoka hapa BPST, wa familia, jamii na wao wa jeshi wa Ulaya, tunataka kusema asanteni sana. Tunashukuru na Mungu azidi kukubariki na kukulinda wewe na familia wako. Asanteni sana.